The room hummed with whispers, the clink of glasses mingling with the sultry notes of jazz that wrapped around them like a secret. The annual office holiday party buzzed with laughter and music, and for the first time in years, I felt a flicker of freedom, a moment to breathe amidst the chaos. I never allowed myself to get caught up in the whispers of the office or linger in the break room, where temptation lingered like a secret. At 49, I had mastered the art of detachment in the world of corporate finance, shielding my heart from the chaos that often lurked in the shadows. Yet, this night carried an unmistakable weight. Perhaps it was how the golden fairy lights danced on the glass, wrapping the room in a tender glow. Maybe it was the champagne coursing through my veins, unraveling the tight grip I usually held on my desires. I tugged at the sleeve of my emerald green dress, a daring choice that felt both thrilling and wrong, and stole a glance around the room. While my colleagues were lost in laughter and shared secrets, I felt a pull toward something unspoken, something that lingered just out of reach. Then my gaze fell upon him. Daniel Carter, the man I shouldn't want. He stood tall and composed, a magnetic presence that drew eyes without a single effort. At 56, he exuded a natural confidence that was impossible to ignore. He had a magnetic presence that drew people in, not merely because of his title, but because he had a rare gift for making everyone feel truly acknowledged. Our connection was always professional, marked by respect yet shrouded in distance. For nearly a decade I had been by his side, yet our exchanges remained scarce, confined to the realm of work, leaving a longing unspoken between us. My heart raced as he locked eyes with me from across the room and began to approach. "Are you enjoying yourself?" he asked, his voice a blend of warmth and something unspoken. I raised my glass, a secret smile playing on my lips. "Yearning to. You seem like someone who prefers to stay away from the crowd." He let out a soft laugh, his lips brushing the rim of his glass. "You're absolutely right. I often show up, then vanish before anyone can see me linger. This year carries a weight of longing." I tilted my head, caught in a moment that felt both fleeting and forbidden. "Why is that?" Daniel paused, his heart racing, then leaned in, his voice dropping to a whisper that felt like a stolen moment. "I have a secret I've been longing to share with you." My heart raced, a moment of surprise washing over me. "What could it be?" He breathed out, a faint smile playing at the edges of his lips. "We can't be seen like this." A spark ignited between us, a silent longing that caught me off guard. My heart raced, not from fear, but from the thrill of what could be. Before I could find the words, a voice broke the spell, and in an instant our fleeting connection slipped away. He stole a glance that sent shivers down my spine before slipping away, leaving me breathless, his words echoing in my mind. "Not in this place." What was he really trying to say to me? The night wore on, yet Daniel's words lingered in my mind, haunting and irresistible. Each glance we shared ignited a spark, a silent promise that lingered in the air, heavy with longing. As I reached for my coat, a soft hand brushed against my elbow, sending a shiver through me. I glanced back to see Daniel lingering just behind me. "Can we steal a moment together?" he whispered. My heart raced as I hesitated, then I nodded, knowing the weight of what it meant. "Absolutely." He beckoned to the balcony, a silent invitation to a world where their hearts could dance freely, if only for a moment. The biting December air brushed against my skin as we stepped outside, yet I hardly felt it. I never intended to be mysterious, he confessed. Has tone become gentler now? I was searching for the perfect moment. I hugged myself tightly, a rush of longing stirring within me. Wait, I'm here waiting for your words. Daniel brushed his fingers through his graying hair, a heavy sigh escaping his lips as he wrestled with his emotions. Then he gazed at me, not as my superior, but as a man with a secret longing in his eyes. 4 years I've longed for you from afar. Not merely your craft but the essence of you. Your poise, the effortless way you navigate the world, captivates me. I kept silent, feeling it wasn't my place to speak up. A soft tension lingered in the air around us. The city lights flickered like distant stars, yet my gaze was locked on the man before me, a magnetic pull I couldn't resist. Is that you, Daniel? I began, my heart racing, lost for words. You don't need to say a word, he interrupted softly. I had to tell you this, even if it feels wrong. In an instant, the world turned upside down. As I leaned against the balcony, the cold winter air nipped at my skin, yet his words wrapped around me like a forbidden embrace, igniting a warmth that defied the chill. Daniel Carter, my boss, the man I had secretly admired for years, had just confessed he saw me as more than just an employee, more than a colleague. My heart raced at the thought of what this could mean for us. I took a deep breath, my heart racing wildly. My heart races at the thought of you, Daniel. Every stolen glance feels like a secret, a thrill that ignites something deep within me. We dance around the edges of what we know we shouldn't, yet the pull is undeniable. In this fleeting moment, I crave you more than ever. I finally found the words, my voice barely a whisper. Words escape me. A fleeting smile danced on his lips, tinged with an anxious undertone. Your silence speaks volumes. I never meant to put you in such a difficult place. I couldn't bear to let another year slip by without revealing my truth. Truthful. That word lingered in my thoughts, a haunting whisper of what could never be. When was the last time I faced the truth within my heart? 4 years I had devoted myself entirely to my career, always the steadfast professional, always in control. But standing here now, I sensed a delicate thread snap, a whisper of truth washing over me. Daniel had always caught my eye. How could I not? He was a force that stirred something deep within her. He was gentle, brilliant, and had a subtle allure that captivated those around him. I pushed my own feelings aside, telling myself they were just passing whims, unimportant. But were they truly? I breathed out, attempting to calm the flutter in my chest. I never let myself imagine this. His gaze lingered, a hint of longing in his eyes. Get it? The air crackled with an unspoken tension, thick with the weight of what could be, both thrilling and dangerous. I stole a look back through the glass doors into the ballroom. They laughed and drank, unaware of the secret moment blossoming just beyond their reach. Then I glanced back at Daniel. Why at this moment? I inquired, my heart racing with unspoken longing. He paused, a heavy sigh escaping his lips. 4 years I told myself that timing was everything, that I had to hold back, that the lines we drew were more significant than the feelings that stirred within me. But tonight I could no longer pretend it didn't exist. His words pierced through me, awakening a longing that had been hidden away for far too long. A gentle breeze brushed against me on the balcony, sending a shiver down my spine. In a fleeting moment, Daniel cast aside his coat, wrapping it around my shoulders with a tender touch. It was a fleeting touch, yet the warmth of him enveloped me, stirring feelings I never anticipated. I don't want to make things harder for you, he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. I had to tell you this, even if it feels wrong. Our eyes locked, my heart racing as I sought a flicker of doubt, a hint of remorse for his words. Yet all that remained was pure sincerity. And then, in a fleeting moment of courage, I smiled. I feel a pull to understand what this truly signifies. His eyes sparkled with a hint of something forbidden, perhaps relief or a glimmer of hope. Then let's find a way, he whispered, his voice laced with longing. Time hung heavy between them, charged with a silent connection that felt both thrilling and wrong. This was more than mere attraction. It was about a connection that felt both thrilling and wrong. A bond we both dared not recognize until this moment. Just as our hearts raced with unspoken words, the balcony doors burst open, where you both are, caught in a moment that feels both electric and warm. We glanced over to find Amanda, one of the senior managers, emerging with a playful, tipsy smile. We're on the brink of raising our glasses. We can't let him miss his moment in the spotlight. Daniel's gaze met mine, a storm of unspoken feelings swirling within. We should go back in, I whispered, pulling his coat tighter around me, feeling the warmth of his presence linger close. He nodded, yet as we crossed the threshold, an undeniable tension hung in the air. Everything between us has changed forever. The warmth of Daniel's coat clung to me as we re-entered the ballroom, yet the air between us crackled with a tension that felt both thrilling and dangerous. We slipped back into the party, masks firmly in place. He stood at the front, and I melted into the throng, hearts racing in silence. Yet it lingered within me. His words hung heavy in the air. The silent connection that lingered between us on that balcony. As he lifted his glass for the annual toast, I couldn't help but gaze at him, feeling a rush of emotions I had never allowed myself to explore. The way he moved, a quiet strength that drew me in, felt like a secret I wasn't meant to uncover. His deep voice drew me in, a magnetic pull I couldn't resist. But now he was more than just my boss. I began to see him as more than just a man. To another year of success, Daniel whispered, raising his glass. A hush fell over the room, hearts racing as glasses touched, laughter mingling with unspoken feelings. But when his gaze flickered to mine over the edge of his glass, I felt the weight of something unspoken between us. It was a secret longing. I took a deep breath, my gaze drifting as I sipped my champagne. Craved freedom. With a quick glance back, I quietly slipped away from the crowd, seeking refuge in the dim hallway by the coat check. The music faded into the background, the voices a mere whisper. I pressed my back to the wall, inhaling deeply, feeling the weight of what could never be. We never meant for this to unfold. For years, I had carefully guarded the line between my heart and my career. I had crafted an image of calmness, determination, and unwavering strength. Yet, in the stillness of a cold December night, a single whispered confession unraveled my certainty. As I contemplated slipping away, a deep voice broke the silence, and I spun around to see Daniel just a few feet away, his hands tucked into his pockets. I released a soft, shaky laugh. Perhaps. He moved nearer, his eyes probing into my soul. Did I make it harder for us? I lingered on that thought, heart racing. I'm still unsure. He nodded, a silent acknowledgement of the unspoken tension between them. I truly meant every word, you understand. My gaze fell to the gleaming floor, my grip on the clutch growing tighter. Understand. For a moment, everything hung in the air before his voice broke the stillness. I don't need a reply at this moment. I simply. He let out a breath, a subtle shake of his head betraying the turmoil within. I can't keep up this charade any longer. His honesty ignited a longing within me that felt both thrilling and wrong. Our eyes locked once more, a spark igniting between us. Neither can I. His gaze lingered, a flicker of surprise dancing in his eyes. I should leave, I whispered, though my heart ached with uncertainty. He let me go, yet as I stepped away, his fingers brushed against mine, a fleeting touch that lingered in the air. It wasn't a daring gesture, just a soft brush, a fleeting bond. "Can I call you tomorrow?" he asked, his voice a soft, hesitant murmur. My heart raced as I paused, then I gave a slight nod. "All right." I pulled my hand back, my heart racing as I moved toward the door. Yet, as I emerged into the chilling night, a truth settled deep within me. This was just the start of something we shouldn't have. The next day, I awoke with a stirring in my heart. Brighter. It felt as if a long-buried secret within me had finally been set free. I wandered my apartment, heart racing, haunted by the memories of last night. The whispers on the balcony, the intensity in Daniel's gaze, the fleeting touch of his hand in the dim hallway. And then came his last question, heavy with unspoken longing. "I'll reach out to you tomorrow." I had whispered my agreement. Now, in my kitchen, I stood frozen, my phone in hand, caught between longing and doubt. Could I truly embrace this moment? A piece of my heart lingered in doubt. It wasn't that I didn't crave to explore what we could become. It was the weight of time that had passed since I allowed myself to feel this way. A fleeting connection. Just then my phone vibrated softly. "Daniel, my heart races at the thought of you." I inhaled deeply, gathering my courage before I spoke. "Hi there." His voice wrapped around her like a secret, steady yet filled with unspoken longing. I held my breath, uncertain if he would answer. I smiled softly, my back pressed against the counter, heart racing with unspoken words. Neither was I, caught in the shadows of what we couldn't have. He let out a quiet laugh, a sound that felt both tender and dangerous. "That's understandable." In that fleeting silence, words hung heavy between us. Yet the silence felt charged, a secret shared between them. It was a silent connection, fraught with unspoken longing. At last, he mustered the courage to speak. "I hope I'm not overstepping, but would you consider joining me for dinner tonight? A hidden place, away from prying eyes. Not a place for us. There are no titles to bind us, only fleeting moments that ignite a fire within. Each stolen glance, each whispered secret, pulls us deeper into a world where we know we shouldn't tread. Yet, the thrill of the forbidden draws us closer, as our hearts race against the odds. In the shadows we find solace, knowing that what we share is both beautiful and dangerous. Only we exist. For just a heartbeat." I paused. "I would love that." That evening, I slipped into a cozy little restaurant, hidden in a secluded part of the city. The candlelight danced on the white tablecloths, whispers of conversation weaving through the air. Daniel was waiting for me, a silent promise in his eyes as I stepped closer. "You came," he said, relief mingling with something deeper in his voice. My heart fluttered as he drew out my chair. I truly did. As the night deepened, a spark ignited between them, something they both knew they shouldn't feel. We whispered secrets. "It's not about work." It's not about the constraints of work or the weight of expectations. Yet it's about the heart. In whispers we shared our favorite stories, dreamt of distant places, and cherished the fleeting moments that brought us joy. With every heartbeat, I found myself coming undone, lost in a beautiful chaos. When the check came, my heart raced with the truth I couldn't ignore. This was something deeper. It was undeniably real. As we emerged into the cool night, Daniel paused, a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. I understand this is uncharted territory, and I want to take my time. Yet I can't ignore the truth of what we share. I turned to face him, my heart racing with unspoken longing. Neither can I. His gaze melted, revealing a depth I had never dared to imagine before. Something deeper than mere admiration. Yet there remains a flicker of hope. As he grasped my hand, intertwining our fingers, a realization washed over me. Sometimes the most unexpected moments in life stir feelings that are both thrilling and dangerous. They are everything we've longed for, yet can never truly have.